I mean, you want to talk about hitting the nail on the proverbial head. This is a response to American Entitlement and the Need to Breed by Chao Gui, 17. Little Demon, that's interesting. So, I wanted to make a video similar to this one, actually, about entitlement and how people have changed, at least in America. And I'm glad that I didn't, only because, number one, I wasn't going to be as eloquent as this video. And two, I'm noticing that by and large, the majority of any culture you're in, no matter where you go or who you study, there's just a big chunk of the population, a majority of people, who just think that life is about getting what they don't already have. It kind of goes along with Kohlberg's theory of moral development. That's a counseling thing. I think a lot of people are at the stage, the level of pre-conventional morality. It's kind of like it's kind of the way that you see most kids. You know, you have obedience versus punishment. You have individualism and exchange. Those are the two stages. They judge things based on how they serve what they need at the moment. Or they're just obeying rules for the sake of avoiding the punishment. That's just the majority of people. I think no matter how advanced you are, you've got three kinds of people in the world. One is that group. And I think about maybe a smaller chunk is in the sort of conventional morality, trying to be looked upon as the good boy, the good girl. I'm a good citizen, I do things well. People will think that I'm a good person if I do X, Y, and Z, and then I'll get things that I want, that kind of thing. Or sometimes they just do things for the sake of kind of keeping things, you know, on an even keel, which is the maintaining social order group. I think a teeny tiny group of people are in the post-conventional, which is where you've got people, you know, beginning to figure out, you know, what the rules are, why everybody agrees on those rules, and then beyond that you've got these universal principles. You start to learn what everybody's universal rights are, no matter where you are. You know, most people, if we just be honest, if we're just honest, most people are going to be thinking about avoiding a punishment or getting what they want at the moment. And you just exemplify those in three key crises that are going on right now. Just a great video. I'm glad somebody from my generation is saying this stuff. But you know, by and large, it is about what the kids go through. The biggest issue is that nobody's thinking about whether or not the kids are endangered because of it. Entitlement. Even worse than that is this belief that you should just let your kids have anything they want, as long as it pacifies them and gets them out of the room. You know, when we were kids, you know, if you wanted the new Air Jordans, right? You had parents that usually said, you're not going to get them just because you want them. You know, you got to mow that grass. You got to do a paper route. You got to go out there and make some money. You got to get in the allowance. You got to wash some dishes. I don't see that anymore. I don't see that being the sort of expectation of a parent. I see that if the parent has enough money to buy it, the parents sometimes feel pressured by their own peers. Peer pressure for parents. What is that? America just basically sees the standard of living being raised a little too high, to the point where it's not about survival, dignity, and purpose. You know, that used to be it. When I was little, it used to be just being able to eat, being able to walk around and not look like an idiot, and being able to have some kind of a purpose in your life that you look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm not a jerk. And now it's like, I gotta buy this, I gotta buy that, I gotta buy this. It has nothing to do with any of those three things. People will do what it takes to get what they idiosyncratically desire. I don't know if that's a word, who cares? I like it. At the expense of a dignified life, at the expense of being able to pay bills and survive, at the expense of having a purpose. It's amazing. I'm so glad somebody's saying this. It made my day. I'm not joking. But I needed that. And I'm glad that you posted this. This is too long of responsibility. I'm sorry for that, but keep doing what you do. Awesome.